Good afternoon, Wesley White. What's up?
Oh, Wesley, where in the heck are you pulling
I
Wesley?
don't know. It's because I wanted to be more formal today. I felt like yesterday was very informal. Today's a formal. It's formal Thursday. It's a
Formal
thing.
Thursday.
It's a
So
thing.
you're
It's a
gonna call
thing.
me Wesley.
Yeah, it's a thing. I just made it up. So join
Okay,
in.
well, that's cool.
Hashtag.
It is my name. I just don't like
Well,
it.
I know, but it's hashtag formal Thursday. So
Yeah, formal Thursday. Well, see, I'll tell you, when you tell somebody that Wesley is coming after him, he's really mad. People will say Wesley.
yeah,
I'm not worried about Wesley, but you tell them Wes is coming.
that's true. Good
That's
point.
a whole other story.
Good point. Okay, good point. Fair enough. Okay, Wesley. Well, good. Hey, so we're back for another rack and stack. Does it get any better?
It doesn't. We did 3 yesterday. We got 3 today. I think we have 2 or 3 next week. So by the time we get done, we should have summer booked.
I think summer will be booked. We'll just take summer off and go on a boat or something.
I like it. I love it. You know what? Today we have got a great guest because our very first is a first. It's someone we've never had on the show before.
That's true. And so
from the industry.
From the industry. And she's magnificent.
At least that's what she says. She will never tell somebody to not call her. So
that's true.
That's good. So
let's
how about we bring her on?
We could. Let's do that.
Okay.
All right. What's up, Jena? How are you?
Good. Thanks so much for having me.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I mean, it's not often that you get Jena, the magnificent Jackson on. It's like a big day.
Yeah. Well, thanks.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So, I love, we wander off the reservation sometimes on Building Wins here with guests away from the industry, which is okay.
Yeah.
But I really love bringing amazing people with a great story that's still in the industry that I live, love, and breathe in. So it's great to have you on. So just before we get started, you're the VP and co-owner of Indiana Metals out of, is it Bainbridge? Am I got that right?
Bainbridge, yeah. Big town of Bainbridge.
Big town. I've been there. It's like big. I stopped at the stoplight and realized there was no stoplight, and I was just in the middle of the road because it's an Amish guy.
Yep,
but,
pretty much. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But well, anyways, welcome. So as we get started, like I said, you're from the industry. You run a really great operation there in Bainbridge, roll forming metal and steel and trims and all kinds of stuff. But give us a little background of how you guys got started and what you do and the philosophy, the culture, wherever you want to go. Let's chat about Indiana Metals for a while.
Sure. Well, I actually didn't start in this industry. So my backstory, I went to Purdue, got a degree in communication, worked in corporate America at a agricultural cooperative, actually, for a really long time. And my husband, Jonathan, he's a co-owner of Indiana Metal. He roofed. He had a successful roofing company, and he specialized in standing seam. Okay. So we were getting a little bit older, and he was like, I don't think I want to do the manual labor forever. I don't think I want to put the roofs on forever. I think we should look into owning a supply house. And I didn't know really what that even really meant. I was not super familiar, and we went on a vacation in Montana. And I think this was 2018, I will say. And there was a place in Montana, very close to where we were, and it was a metal roofing supply house. And it was actually run by a female. And we just, on a whim one day, weather wasn't great, we went there, and she was there, the owner, and she gave us a tour. And when we left, I said, I feel like we could do this. So we came back to Indiana, and Indiana Metal was kind of formed after that. And
wow.
Yeah, that's kind of our backstory, how we got started. I stayed working in corporate America for a little bit after that. I think I joined the company full-time in 2021, quit my job and started working at Indiana Metal full-time, and the rest is history.
Wow. Well, that's a cool story. I don't think when I was in to see you last time that we had that conversation. That's interesting how that happened.
Yeah.
And what I really love about that is sometimes you just gotta believe enough, know enough, and roll the old dice like a Yahtzee cup, right? Just go, you know what? I think we can do this, because if you can't believe, you got to believe in yourself, because
Yeah.
it's an age-old thing, right? But if you wait until the right time, if you'd have waited until the right time, you'd still be in corporate America, and your
Mhm.
husband would still be roofing, right?
Yep. Yep.
And neither of you doing what you want to do, because that's that funny thing about that. There's never a
It's
perfect
never a
time.
perfect time. No, not at all. No. And I'm so fortunate with Jonathan that he has this vision. He can see beyond what currently is. And I honestly feel like I'm very fortunate and able to ride his coattails a little bit, and we complement each other really well in different aspects. And it's just it's a great partnership that has worked well.
Perfect. So the Indiana Metals, are you more of are you selling wholesale? Are you selling retail, most of the builders and do-it-yourselfers, a little bit of both? Or how do you guys go to market? Okay.
Yeah, a little bit of both. Mostly we sell to contractors. We focus a lot on restoration contractors. We have a large clientele of restoration contractors, helping them learn metal, helping them try to see that metal roofing does not have to be complicated. So many times we hear like asphalt shingles are just so much easier to order, and that's what they know. But we really try to make metal roofing as easy as shingles here. We have different programs in place where they can order by the square, which is like what they're used to, and so that's been a big thing for us. And something we're very proud of is that we try to help other people's businesses, other roofing companies' businesses, offer a product that maybe they've been too intimidated to offer before.
Well, and I love that because so many businesses, they just hang out their shingles, so to speak, their little sign out front, and say, you buy from us under our terms. And we all have to, as any business has to have terms. I mean, there has to be certain things that you just are non-negotiables, right?
Right.
But the less of those that we can have, I think, and the more terms that we can offer to the customer, our customer, that fits their needs, the better off we're going to be.
Yeah.
And I love that idea that you're taking people that are afraid of or never done metal, and teaching them, training them, taking the fear out of it, making it easy to do. Because that's probably, I would think, and I'd love for you to speak to this, but anybody that are shingle roofers out there, I know there's I would assume unless they're living under a rock, that they understand metal's huge. It's growing into, it's still, as an overall part of the industry, is small.
Right.
Of the roofing, which is in itself a plus, because it's still a very big industry, which means every 1 or 2% of market share we gain in metal is big dollars, right?
Huge difference, right?
So our pie keeps getting bigger. But I think a lot of asphalt guys out there, like you said, they do what they always did. They're afraid, they're scared, they're going to lose money, they're going to mess up, they're going to have leaks, they're going to have issues. And so they don't do it.
Yeah.
And the longer they don't do it and don't establish themselves as a metal guy, or at least have metal as one of their options, they're going to get further and further behind. So I think you're doing a service to the industry by the way you're going, and it's got to serve you well as a company, because if they can go to a competitor and find metal and find screws and find stuff, right? But are they going to find that, right? And that's that factor that it sounds like to me that really makes buying from Indiana Metals pretty valuable, right?
Yeah, I appreciate that. I hope so. That's our goal. We really want to just help contractors grow their business, and if they're not going to offer metal, someone else will. So we feel like the homeowners, the people who want the metal, that's what they want. So if the contractor just says like, oh, I don't do metal, they're probably just going to lose the job. Right. So let's change the narrative. Let's not lose the job. Let's learn how to do it and grow that business, improve their offerings, and try to make the market share bigger, because I love metal over shingles. I think it's got a lot of great benefits, and there's no reason that everybody shouldn't be able to push it in their contracting businesses.
Well, no, and speak to that, because I mean, I'm asking. I've been this forever on the component side, but for the average roofer out there that's never done metal, what do you find is the big fear factor outside of just the fear of the unknown? And some people are very good at the unknown and change and adaptation. Some people are anti all that. Yeah. I mean, they want the same breakfast because they don't want something different, right? They don't like change. Yeah. But the people that don't like change because they're afraid of it, they're scared of metal. Give me the Jena's 5 reasons or whatever, 3 reasons why you shouldn't really fear metal.
Well, one thing we hear a lot is that it's so hard to order. I think that is the number one fear that contractors have who don't do metal. They don't know how to order it. And there's really no reason to fear that because there's so much new technology. We use Roofing Passport a lot, Sherwin-Williams Roofing Passport. Mm-hmm. We use that so much. And that has really changed the ordering process from a technological standpoint. You know, you throw your Eagle View in there and all of a sudden you basically have your metal order.
Right.
Yeah, you might need to go out and confirm a couple measurements just to make sure, but it's pretty much done for you. So I think that is by far the number one thing we hear is that it's difficult to order. I also think another reason people fear it is they don't really understand all of the components that go along with metal roofing. So if you're in front of a homeowner and they're asking you questions, you know, there are a lot of different pieces of trim and different pieces of components of the metal roof that you might not have with asphalt shingles. So I think finding a good supplier who can give you training and give your sales team the confidence to sell the metal is huge, because at the end of the day, like if I can tell you the pieces of metal roofing trim that's on a roof, if I can do it, literally anyone can do it. I don't have the knowledge, the background, the education, none of it, but I can do that. I've learned, and it's really not difficult, and it's such a good skill to pull out of your back pocket when you're in front of a homeowner.
Hey friends, it's Randy here, the owner of Source One Marketing, ibuyfromrandy.com, and I got to tell you, we are proud to sponsor the Building Wins Live podcast and vlogcast. We have 4+ decades in this beautiful industry of supplying materials, supplying services, supplying marketing assistance, and we just are proud to sponsor Building Wins Live and some great guests that we have every single week, many of them from our beloved industry and many of them from outside the industry that still bring some incredible content. So make sure to check us out at ibuyfromrandy.com and let us know what you think about this show. For now, thanks for checking this out. Let's get back to the show. Is there some concern with, I'm going to be semi-careful how I say this, but asphalt shingles, been around forever, not going to knock it. Fine product.
Yeah.
But it's relatively easy to install and not make a mistake, even if you don't know what you're doing.
Right.
I mean, you got to have a little idea, because you can mess up asphalt too. But in comparison, I've always believed, in having grown up in the metal business, there's a level or two higher ability level probably needed to, and it comes to the trims. I mean, putting down the field is, whether it's standing seam or whether it's an ag panel or an apex type panel or any of those. Yeah, I'm sorry, pretty much that's not that hard to put down.
Yeah.
But it's the trims, right, and getting all that done properly.
Right.
And I've always felt like with metal, even though at the ag panel starter end, if you will, it's not tremendously difference in cost to shingles, right? It's in the same ballpark.
Yep.
And then you can go all the way from there to 2-3 times as much as shingles, right? It depends on what you want to go with.
Yeah.
But where I'm going with this is, it seems like if contractors can take that extra time to learn from people like yourselves, develop that technician attitude that I'm a little bit, I don't want to say better, but I've got the skill level, the skill set that maybe this guy over here doesn't.
Yeah.
Can't you, it takes you out of that competitive realm just a little bit too, right? Because
for sure.
I'm going to get a little bit more money because, but this guy can't do this for you, and I can.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it really makes sense. Yeah. I think when you invest in your trade, in yourself, in your company, and you learn the new skills, and I mean, this goes for everything, not just roofing, but it does give you an edge over, a competitor who might not be doing that. Yeah, definitely.
Yep. And so, as I talk to guys in roofing from a little different route than you would take, but I was telling them, look, don't undersell yourself and what your value is. You don't always have to give everything away, right?
No, for sure. Yeah.
You're selling a high quality product with well, let's face it, with the paint systems it's 40 year typically or whatever, but that doesn't mean it's gone in 40 years. That just means that's when the warranty runs out, right?
Right, for sure. Yeah.
And the reality is, like with, I was talking the other day with somebody, Jenna, it was interesting. They said, if I'm going to be there 40 years from now, that's a long time for anybody.
It is.
But it's not going to be gone away. It's not going to be rusted away. That's when I'm just not, as a manufacturer, as a coil guy, maybe, or paint guy, not going to cover the fade anymore, or I'm not going to, that's all that means. It doesn't mean the roof's gone away. And the thing is, between now and, let's say you put it on 20 years ago, between now and 20 years from now, there's going to be so many new technologies that you don't necessarily have to replace the roof. Maybe there's ways to extend the length of a metal roof now.
Yeah.
In 20 years from now, you may snap your fingers and a drone does it. I don't know. Who knows what will happen, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy the technology that they're coming out with, especially I feel like from a coatings perspective.
Oh, so good.
The things they can do now, they're just amazing. So who knows? In another 20 years, who knows where we're going to be with that?
Yeah. It's really becoming, that's the beauty of it. It's really for all practical purposes, it's a one and done roof, right? Pick your color carefully, right? It's really probably the last roof you're ever going to buy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, unless you're a really smart 12-year-old and you're going to live in that same house forever.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll need another one someday, but probably not. That's awesome. And I love this. So you do some, with training your contractors, do you do some of that in-house? Do you have some in-house training where you bring them in and teach them, like on a deck or something, roof deck, how to do all these different things?
Yeah. So we built, a couple years ago, we built a complete training center here, very dedicated to training. We offer sales or install training. Our sales manager does the sales training. My husband, Jonathan, does the install training, but it kind of depends on what the contractor, if it's a bunch of sales reps, they're coming in and getting sales training. If it's an install crew, we bring them in. We have 4 different displays that are basically kind of like little houses. And we have them roof them and teach them kind of tips and tricks, how to do valleys, like the ins and the outs of the more technical stuff, so that when they go out there, they feel confident in what they're doing.
Yeah. So huge, because, and that's such a defining reason for Indiana Metals and for other people that do what you do like that, because it's one thing, again, back to what I said earlier, you can go anywhere and buy some metal.
Yeah.
And buy some screws and some caulk and some butyl tape and a couple closures of some type and some sort of ridge vent, whatever it is. Right. And at the end of the day, guess what? And here's the key, I think, if it's installed properly, it's all going to work. Right. I tell people all the time, like one of the things one of my big product lines is fasteners. I can give you the dog and pony all day of why my fastener's the best.
Yeah.
But everybody else's will hold that roof on too.
Yeah.
I don't have the monopoly on that, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's the same thing when it comes to the contractor and the supplier is, you don't have a monopoly on the product because you can get product anywhere. Widgets can be bought anywhere. It's the delivery, it's the service, it's the training, it's the background, and I'm big on that. And I love how you guys do that. I'm well aware of, because I watch your TikToks, which we'll talk about in a minute. I watch a lot of the stuff you do, and that's a subject that I really love. But we'll talk about that in a minute. But back to the technology for a minute. The Sherwin-Williams program and the Eagle View, like you said, I'm not saying anything's possible, but it's almost impossible to get it wrong anymore, right? I mean, we've taken 98% of the getting it wrong out of it. Would that be accurate? I mean,
I would say so. I mean, we still recommend you confirm some eaves, confirm your measurements a little bit. But for the most part, like it's so hard. You almost have to try to get it wrong. And we rent a lot of roll formers. We have a fleet of new tech roll formers. So when we rent those, we truly just order by the square. So we put X number of square of coil on there for them. They don't have to give us the panel lengths. I mean, at that point, it's really just take a measurement off the roof, run the panel on the job site, and you're done.
That would be pretty tough to screw up. Unless you don't practice what Carter Lumber says and you don't measure twice and call once, right? I guess.
Yes.
But as long as you pay attention and can read a tape measure, you're probably not going to screw that up. So, well, that's pretty cool. So, you make great products. You and your ancillary products, component products are top notch. Great people, knowledgeable people. Mm-hmm. But one thing that you guys do that I've always been really impressed with and love is and a statement that I use a lot, probably overused, but visibility equals opportunity. Mm-hmm. And it's a real force multiplier, right? And you guys do such a good job, because in today's world, especially, it used to be you build a better mousetrap and they would come, right? That was an old statement. I wish I could remember who said that, but it doesn't. But nowadays, if you build a better mousetrap and nobody knows you have the mousetrap, they're going to go to the guy that has half as good a mousetrap because I kept telling you that I have a great mousetrap, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And I think it's hugely important to be doing what you guys are doing with your social media presence and letting people know in fun ways and in interesting ways and in serious ways and combinations of everything. Hey, we're kind of for real. We're kind of cool people. We're sort of fun. But we also kind of know what we're doing, right? So talk to me a little bit about that, because that's where you and I first met, was seeing back and forth some of the social media stuff that you do. And I, as an older, senior, not young, you can stop laughing anytime. Wes, one more laugh from her and she's off. But I see such an incredible value to the whole social media world and what we're doing. And I would just love you to spend a few minutes and tell us about why you do what you do, how come it's important, what you do. Let's just delve into that. Let's take a deep dive into Jena's world of social media.
Sure. So my background is in communication. And I had been at Indiana Metal full-time, I don't know, maybe a year and a half. And I went to Jonathan and said, we need to hire somebody to do our social media. Because I'd either been doing it, kind of in my free time, or we had a company that we were outsourcing to. But I mean, I'm sure when you outsource stuff like that, it's not what you want. It's not personal. It's not your voice. So he thought that I was crazy, but he's a very understanding man. And he was like, all right, if you think we need a social media person, like, let's do it. So we actually found, her name's Sarah. She runs all of our social medias. She's on a bunch of our TikToks. She lives in Bainbridge, so she's literally right down the road. We found the perfect person literally in our backyard. Wow. But she is so fun. She comes up with all of these ideas for the TikToks. You can just give her a small idea and she'll run with it. And so many people tell us that they've seen our TikToks. And it has been such a great way to reach customers just across the nation. It has opened up sales avenues that I never thought that we would get, being in Bainbridge, Indiana. But it's just such a great way to reach so many people that all are looking or interested in the same topic. And I think that so many people in the kind of professional realm really just overlook the power that it has. I think that's changing. The narrative's changing a little bit. But social media has been great for us. Like, I'm a huge proponent in it, particularly TikTok. When it almost went away for a minute, we were crying in here.
Yeah. So that's interesting. Tell me what drew you to TikTok, and I'm interested from a personal standpoint. I do a lot more of it now than I did. Mm-hmm. I've always been because I'm a B2B guy. I've always been LinkedIn has been sort of my strong go-to. Yeah. But I'm pretty cross-platform now. I mean, I'll use, Reels and TikTok and Facebook and LinkedIn, and I don't do as much on X as I probably should, but I got to be better at that. But what drew you to TikTok?
From a personal standpoint, I think attention spans from people are so low, and the act of just scrolling and just having these short little bursts of entertainment, I think that's really powerful. And then once we started posting on TikTok and we noticed, you kind of get in the rhythm of what works, how you make it trend, how you go viral. And once you do that and you start seeing I remember when our first TikTok went viral, how excited we were in here. And that was like, I don't know, that is what hooked us. So after that, it's always just kind of like a competition, internally to see if we can get another TikTok to go viral.
Yep. Well, and the fun thing to me with TikTok is that it allows you to obviously put a little more of a professional spin on it if you want to.
If you want, yeah.
But the old adage of people buy from who they know, like, and trust, and as Wes and I's good friend Ben Gay III with the Closure series, you probably know who Ben is, and feel safe with. He always adds that to it, which is I think is brilliant.
Yeah.
No, people in today's world, most people in today's world, I think, want to buy from somebody that's real, somebody that has a personality, somebody that's a little bit fun, something that's more than just I can roll out 50 pieces of steel 9 foot 7 inches long and give you a few bags of screws, right? Yeah, that's pretty boring. Who cares, right? And if that's all you show every day, that you're pretty soon you're not going to go viral. You're not going to get many looks because how many times can you watch the same new tech machine running out?
It gets pretty old pretty fast.
Yeah, that's like, okay, I've seen that 112 times. That's kind of boring, right? So it's the other stuff that you do. And I think the nice thing with TikTok is it allows you by nature of what it is to be more personal, to be more just, this is who I really am.
Yeah, you can be authentic. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes.
And I found and I think even LinkedIn is, a lot of people don't like it because you still see those people that get on there and complain, this is not Facebook. And I agree to some degree.
Yeah.
But I think even there, you start seeing more personality come out of people.
Yeah.
It probably never going to be a TikTok, and nor should it probably. There's a place for everything, right?
For sure. Yes.
but I enjoy it. Well, that's interesting how you got that. That was my last go-to. I was
really?
We're doing a lot more with YouTube now.
Yeah.
But actually that's a big thing that I'm doing right now. I spend a lot of effort to start just really in the infancy because I ignored YouTube for the longest time. No idea why.
It's a little bit overwhelming, I think. Like it seems kind of momentous, I feel like. We're starting to do a little more with it too, but it's definitely our last go-to, I would say.
Yeah. I think, and my take, and Brother Wes in the background, he's a guru in a lot of this stuff, and he may agree or disagree with my statement here, but I think with YouTube, you probably, in the business world at least, my take again, should be semi more polished with what you do than TikTok. Literally take your phone and film some stupid thing and stick it on in like 13 seconds later and everybody loves it, right?
Yeah.
Where you can do that with YouTube. But if you're going to do any longer version, anything other than shorts, I think I just think it's a little more time consuming to get it to where it might play well. Do you agree with that?
I would agree. Yeah. And I think the topics are a little bit different too. I think people still go to YouTube to learn.
Exactly.
And they go to TikTok for entertainment.
Yes.
And I think that's where Sarah's done really good with ours is she kind of knows the demographic of people, like what contractors like, what they don't like, who they are. And she has been able to kind of hone in on that. And sometimes she'll put things on TikTok that we're like, ooh, I don't know. Yeah. But then, you go look at, Yellowstone National Park's TikTok and it's hinged right now. So anything goes.
It does. Somebody asked me once, and when I, my major purpose for TikTok to be, I have two reasons for doing TikTok. One is it's just fun. Yeah. It's just fun to do. I just get a kick out of it. But two, even though I've been around for a while, but I plan on doing this forever because I just love what I do and do what I love, right?
Yeah.
the 25-year-old out there right now that's going to be that assistant buyer or that buyer of my product 3 or 4 years from now, they may not even know it yet. I may not know it yet. We may not know each other yet. They may be working out back at Indiana Metals doing something else and going to be the buyer someday that Randy ought to know.
Yeah. Definitely.
But I want them to know me when that time comes. I want them to have saw me 1,650,000 times, with funny. The guy's kind of quirky. He's a little witty at times, but kind of knows what he's talking about too, because he's been around forever. I think I got to call this Randy guy. And when I come in to see that guy 3 years from now, sitting in your office buying, he's oh, that's Randy. I know you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the reason I use TikTok more than any other reason, to be honest. Other than that, like I said, I'm not going to lie. It's just fun to do sometimes.
It is. Yeah.
It's quick and easy. I don't have to put any thought into it sometimes. If I'm walking and something pops in my head I want to do on TikTok, I just do it.
Yeah. And I think that's the major appeal for a lot of people. Yeah.
And I don't do that with YouTube. I spend a little more time massaging it and trying to make it a little bit better. But you guys do a great job of that. So, and it's funny, and Wes and I have talked about this a lot in the past too, and we've talked to a lot of guests about this, and social media, you don't have to like it. There's a lot of stuff not to like about it. Let's face it. I mean, there's parts of it that are dark and dangerous and hurtful and painful and stupid. But if you use it for the right stuff and use it the right way, but here's my kind of take on that I talk about, if anybody will listen, is that many years ago, everybody's getting websites. A lot of people didn't have websites, didn't even know what a website was. What's World Wide Web? I don't even know what that means. I don't need all that garbage. That's just stupid. Then we had a point where if you didn't have a website, you didn't exist as a business.
Yeah,
right?
You weren't legit.
I think that's where we are with social media. Whether you like it or not is irrelevant. If people can't find you on social media with some kind of a presence, there's a large percentage of people that are just going to move right on to the person they find. Whether that person they find could be half as good as you.
Yeah.
Right? Do you agree with that?
I totally agree with that. I think especially if you're in a, like how contractors are in a service field, customers that are having them come to their homes, if they can't find samples of your work or reviews or anything on social media, like they're going to move on, like you said, to somebody else that they can. And it's not even about the skill set. It's about visibility. Exactly.
And people are more guarded with their time and have more things, more activities. If you have a presence between your website and all your social media where the husband and wife can sit at 10 o'clock in the evening with a glass of Dr. Pepper and talk about a metal roof.
Yeah.
They can flip through and find metal roofs and go to YouTube, go to TikTok. They find Indiana Metals. But they don't have to go through Google and try to find roofers in the area and then try to figure out who these people are. Are they trustworthy? Does anybody even like them? They already figured all that out in 30 minutes. Sitting there together on the couch watching 2 or 3 or 4 TikToks. They go, I like these people, right? It's almost pre-sold before they come in the door because I've already decided. And all of a sudden that you talk about cold calls in the world of sales, right? And that's one thing any sales guy in the world, if they're honest, hates cold calls.
For sure. Yeah.
I mean, I got 4+ decades in sales, and I don't love cold calls. Like we have a good friend, Wes, and I do Christine Harrington, the savvy sales lady out of Indianapolis. Okay. Good friends of ours. She's a cold call guru, very good at it.
Yeah.
But I'll tell her sitting here. I mean, we sat with coffee before, and I said, I don't like it. I love what you do, and I listen to you, and I try to learn. But you're never going to get Randy to like it.
Yeah.
I would be a million things I'd rather do when I get done talking to you than to cold call some guy. Hey, this is Randy. I sell screws and closures and barn door track. Got any interest in buying some stuff?
Yeah. So much chance for rejection. I mean, it's just, you open yourself up to just.
And you're wasting time because if I'd called that same guy and I saw that he's liked several of my comments or commented or some of my posts, then all of a sudden it's not a cold call anymore because it's all of a sudden, oh, Randy, oh, yeah, I know you. Wow, you called me, and all of a sudden you cut through all that garbage. And if you've watched what he's done and paid any attention, say, I know your kids in baseball. What are they in districts last week? How'd they do? All of a sudden you've cut through 2, 3, 4, 5 calls of all that investigatory, painful for both sides garbage.
Yeah.
And cut right to
rapport.
We know each other. Let's talk about business. Let's see what we got. If there are any opportunities. So I love. So I knew your opinion would be the same, but I can't speak enough about it. And what I love about all the world of virtual, bringing it back around, is, anybody I ever talked about it, I never want them to mistake that means never have boots on the ground, never bro hug and baby kiss and rub the little grandkid's head in the driveway, right? You still got to have the personal contact, the one-on-one stuff. There's a time for all that, but you can build so much of that into your social presence.
Definitely.
That you multiply that tenfold, hundredfold, right?
Yes. Yeah, I agree. And like you said, you cut through all of the get to know you, that sort of thing, and you can almost just hit the ground running. Yeah, and really help expand relationships more quickly.
Yep, love it. Yeah. So what's in the future? I know you guys added on a bunch just recently.
Yes.
That's a big add-on. I mean, I looked at this. I looked at the side-by-side aerial pictures, and that's a pretty big add-on.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. We built a new projection shop, and it's more than double what we had before. So that has been great for us. Just the guys are so happy to have more room. So that's been great. We really want to figure out how to service our customers more in the metro area a little bit better. Because we're about an hour outside of Indy. So, for us, we're just used to it. You live out here and you just drive there, you just do. But there's not a lot of reason to come to Bainbridge unless you're coming to see us. So we'd like
that's enough reason right there.
But. Yeah. I mean, we hope people still do. But we'd like to figure out some sort of way to have some sort of hub or something in the Indy area to help our customers there, service them a little bit better, a little more quickly. And then we're really trying to lean in a lot to technology and just integrating it in everything we do, not to reduce jobs here, but to help make the lives easier for our current employees and help them be able to do more with less, basically, and earn a better living, make a better product, and just keep showing up.
Is so AI in your future, or do you use some AI now? How much AI do you use? Is that a big thing for you?
Yeah. So personally, ChatGPT and I are like this. As far as a company, we're working on developing an AI quoting software. Okay. So we're working on that, and we are really using a lot of robotics in our production shop.
Okay. Which
has been great. So we want to continue with that path and just trying to tie everything together. I'm not a techie person. I only know enough to talk surface level about tech, but it's been a lot of changes here as far as implementing technology, but it's been great.
It is. And, I think back because, again, I go back far enough that I remember pulling up on a cold, snowy, icy, awful day to this thing, Jena. They called them payphones. See, I don't know. I'm guessing I don't know what your age is. I mean, we've met, but it doesn't matter. You never ask a woman that. I've learned that. But you're way younger than I. And I don't think you probably used a payphone. I'm going to guess.
I have used a payphone. Yes.
Yeah. Not in a museum doesn't count.
No.
Come on.
No, I think I was in high school before I had a cell phone.
Okay.
So,
well, I was like 45 before I got a cell phone. No, not quite that bad, but I remember those days. So I'm not a techie person either. I have a real love-hate relationship with technologies, and like I said, I love to hate it, hate to love it. I want it all.
Yes.
I want to use it all. I love everything it does, but I fight with it and swear at and cuss at it all the time.
Yeah.
It drives me nuts, but my ability to do the things that I do, I couldn't do all the things that I do right now. I couldn't do 30% of all I do if I didn't use technology for things that I do.
Yes.
And AI is one that I know it scares, and this we'll finish up because you've been very kind with your time, but AI is one of those things that I was a year or two ago one of the same people that were a lot of people are. I hate it. It scares me. I don't even want to touch. I don't even want to write the word because it may see me writing the word and hook me up to wires or something. You know, I mean, you get all these weird things. And we've had several guests on of recent talking about AI, and I have Chat GTPs right in the front of my phone. It's probably outside of my text, email, and calendar, my most used app.
Definitely.
And it's so valuable that anybody that'll listen to me, I'm going to tell them, take it from an older guy. If you don't get on the bandwagon, man, this is going so fast. And a great comment, a friend of Wes and I's that he spoke at the NFBA show in Knoxville.
Okay.
Kevin Works with Foxworks. Kevin Fox with Foxworks, and he's an AI guru. Comes from the corporate world like you, and I loved his start of his presentation. He goes, so everybody says, and you've probably heard, that AI is the future. And he just looks. He says, it's not. He says, right now. Right now, he says, by the time we finish this hour and 15-minute chat, stuff's changed already, right? And I thought that was so spot on right. And if we don't grasp it and get started, you're all of a sudden going to be like, I guess what it feel like to be all of a sudden you're in a college fourth year calculus class and you never even took elementary 1 + 1 is 2, right?
Yeah.
You'll never catch up.
Right.
So I just encourage you. I'm glad to hear. I figured you were with everything else you're doing, but if my chat wasn't, I have a problem in my chat right now. He and I are fighting. I call him Chester, but
oh, you do. I call mine G.
G. Hey G, what's up, G? I like that.
Yeah,
it works. But I called it a few other things yesterday because I apparently I've apparently been paying for the pro version, the $20 a month.
Yes.
But I don't have it. But I don't have it. It's not there.
Oh.
If you know how to make it there, I'll call you because I don't know why we got this, but I try to get to it.
Yeah.
It says you've run out of all you can do tonight because I use it so much.
Yeah.
But you can sign up for the pro version. Okay. Well, you're already a pro version person. Well, then let me have pro. But anyway, I that's my mission for tonight or tomorrow is to try to figure that out. I've asked Chester to self-diagnose himself, but he's not being cooperative. But anyway, it's cutting down all that because I go off on tangents. I love AI. I'm glad to hear you do. I think it's here to stay. Okay. And so as we wind down, because you've been so kind with your time, and I don't know where we'll catch up next. Where are you going next? Any shows coming up? I know you didn't make NFBA because I think your husband got hurt, right? Wasn't that what happened?
He had hip surgery.
Hip surgery. Okay.
He was recovering from that. Yeah, I'm not sure. Are you going into any shows anytime soon?
I've got the Post-Frame Builder Show in Manheim, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Which is in June, late June.
Yeah.
Last week of June. Okay. And then I think the next one after that probably is the Construction Roll Forming Show, which is not that far from you in Dayton, Ohio.
Yeah, that's not far.
And then that's in early October. And then, of course, MetalCon will be out in Vegas in like the third week. I assume you'll go to those two probably. Probably
those two, yeah.
Yeah. Good. Well, good. Yeah. We'll see you there. But so as we wind down, Wes loves the SAQs, the should ask questions. And if I don't bring it up, he puts it up to embarrass me. So there it is. In all your life period, but in the world of metal, what do you just wish people would ask you that never ask you? Is there something that you just like dying to talk about when it comes to what you do, metal, life in general? I don't care.
I think that not enough people ask how Indiana Metal can help them. I really feel like that's something that more people should ask. They just assume that we're another supply house, same as going to a box store. And I wish that more people would ask, like, what can you do for me? Because we are here and we would love to tell them how we can help them.
So here's a challenge to everybody. When you call to go into Indiana Metals, say, tell me about you and how can you make my life as a builder easier?
Yep.
Better and more profitable.
Yep.
Love it.
Yeah.
That's a tagline. No charge. And you can hashtag that and everything. No charge. I'm here to help.
Well, thank you.
No problem. All right. Well, Jena, I appreciate you being on. Thank you so much. That was very, very educational and entertaining. And I really enjoy talking to good people in the industry. And you guys certainly are that. And
well, thank you.
You know,
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Keep building strong down there.
Okay.
I'll come in one of these days and we'll have a donut or something.
Yes, please.
With big frosting on it.
Yes.
Because, you know, I like to work out and everything a little bit, but I'm trying to rethink because Richard Simmons died and Keith Richards is still alive. So
you really have to evaluate some things.
I'm starting to reevaluate what I think because something's not right with this. Yeah. All right. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye. Cheers.
Bye-bye.
All right. How was that good stuff or what? Jena and Jonathan and the folks at Indiana Metals are the real deal. And I've been into their shop and all the stuff they talked about is spot on. They do it right. And you won't go awry if you stop in to see them or give them a call. Ask what they can do for you. Because I think there's money for me on a hashtag if like the sale or something. I think I heard that anyways. But for now, I am doing what I love and loving what I do. That's what I want you to do. You get one go around on good old planet Earth, so live it, love it, own it. And you know what I'm going to say next. Make today your best day ever. Till tomorrow. Cheers, my friends.